President, please be seated. The court is now in session. The greffier, Ms. Sakobote, could you report the attendance of the parties to the proceeding? Sakobote, good morning, Mr. President. All parties to the proceeding are present, except the accused Ian Sari, who is present in the holding cell downstairs, as he requests to waive his presence through his counsel to directly participate in the proceeding. The letter of waiver from the accused has been submitted to the greffier. As for today's proceeding, the witness TCW the reserved witness is waiting in the room, and the witness will take an oath and ready to be testified. The reserved witness, to his knowledge, informs the chamber he has no relation by blood or by law to any of the civil party or to the accused. Thank you, says the President. The President, the chamber has now received the letter of waiver of the accused through his counsel to waive his personal presence in this courtroom and request to follow the proceeding through audio-visual means in the room downstairs due to his health, that he cannot sit for long to follow the proceeding in this courtroom. As requested by Ieng Sari to waive his presence in this courtroom and to follow the proceeding through the audio-visual means, and that he can also communicate with his counsel from the rooms downstairs, the chamber agrees to this request to waive his right, and he is allowed to follow the proceeding from the room downstairs through audio-visual means for the entire day proceeding. The AV unit, you are instructed to link the audio-visual to the room downstairs so that the accused could follow the proceeding. The floor is now given to the prosecution to continue questioning this witness. Before we hand over the floor to the prosecution is reminded that you should prepare your question precisely and short, and not to repeat the questions that have been asked already or any of the leading questions. Please pay attention to this reminder. You may now proceed. Simon King, thank you, Mr. President. I will continue my questioning of the witness. Good morning, Mr. Sao Sarun. Yesterday we discussed about the meeting in Kampong Thom province in 1971. I will now touch upon the same issue, that is the same meeting, but it was held in 1972. The question is the following. Did you participate in the meeting in Kampong Thom province in 1972? Response. No, I did not. Mr. President, I'd like to seek your permission to show a document which is the written record of interview of this witness conducted by the OCIJ. The document is E3/167 or D125/167. The Khmer ERN is 00251437. In English, 00278694, and in French, 00486009-10. The President, yes, you may do so. The document can be projected on the screen. The AV unit, could you assist with the projection of this document on screen? Thank you, Mr. President. In that document, the witness states that in 1972, the district chiefs, including Ki, Swai, Cham, Lok, and himself, went to attend the meeting in Kampong Thom with Pol Pot, Hu Num, Hu Jun, and Nuon Chea. Do you stand by this statement, Mr. Witness? Response: yes, I attended that meeting. Thank you. Question: can you recall who were other participants in the meeting held in Kampong Thom in that year of 1972? Response: I did not know any other people. I knew Pol Pot because he was the one who made the presentation regarding documents. In that statement, you said you also saw Nuon Chea attending the meeting. Was it the first time that you met Nuon Chea? Response: I knew him as the organizer invited him to go up the stage. Question: did you know then what was the role of Nuon Chea at the time? Response: no, I did not know what his role was. Question: can you recall, were there other representatives from other provinces attending that meeting? Response: yes, there were, but I did not know them. Questions: what about other provincial leaders? Did they attend the meeting? Response: yes, there were. Question: Can you recall how many participants are together in that meeting? Response. No, I cannot recall how many participants there were. Question. The meeting held in Kampong Thom province in 1972, was it held in the same location where it was held in 1971? Response. Yes, it was the same place. Question. How long did the meeting last? How many days? Response. It was almost 10 days. Question. The 1972 meeting, who were the presenters in that meeting? Response. I saw only one person and it was Pol Pot. Question. Can you recall if there were other presenters? Response. I cannot recall that. Thank you. I'd like to seek the consent of Mr. President to present another written record of interview, that is, it's E3/167, that is the same document, or D125/167. EN in Khmer is 00251437. In English, 00278694. And in French, 00486010. President, yes, you can proceed. The assistant and the AV unit, could you assist with the projection of that portion of the document on screen? In that document, you said that in the meeting, Nunchi was the political presenter regarding the fighting against the American imperialists to liberate the countries and to get rid of the oppressing classes. Is that correct? Response, yes. Question. What are the instructions Nunchi gave regarding the fighting against the oppressing class? Response. He made the presentation by presenting the document. That is all. Question. Can you recall what did Nunchi refer to when he talked about the oppressing class? Response. I did not know what he meant by using that term. Question. Regarding the liberation of the country, what did he talk regarding this topic? Response. What he said was merely about the liberation of the country. Just then you told the chamber that there was a document that he presented. What kind of document was it? Response. That document discussed about the fighting against the American imperialists. Question. Can you recall the title of that document? Response. No, I cannot recall it. Question. During the time that you traveled to attend the meeting in both 1971 and 1972 in Kampong Thom province, did you see or hear about the office B20? Response. No, I did not. Question. Did you see Khieu Sampon attending the meeting in Kampong Thom province? Response. I did not know who Khieu Sampon was. Question. So you did not know who was who at the time. When was the first time that you met with Khieu Sampon? Response. No, I had not met him during that time. Only after the liberation of Phnom Penh that I met him. Now I move on to another question. Did you know that people residing in Mondulkiri were ordered to dismantle their house and to move to the cooperative? I referred to the period prior to 1975. Response. There was difficulty and lack of farmland at the border, so people were relocated. Question. Did you know the reasons for the relocation of those people? Response. No. What I knew was that there was a vast free land in the Koh Nye district, and that people could engage in rice farming, so they were moved there. Question. In Mondulkiri province, when was the first time that cooperatives were created? Response. It was around 1977. Question. Were other people relocated from other parts of Mondulkiri to Koh Nye district between 73 to 75? Response. No. It started in 66 or 67. The sector committee moves the people from other parts of the province to do rice farming in Koh Nhek district. Question: what about those families living alongside the Vietnamese border? Were they also ordered to move to Koh Nhek district? Response: yes, they were relocated to Koh Nhek district since they did not have the lands to farm near the border area. It was a mountainous land. Question: did you know that the families who were ordered to relocate to Koh Nhek, what were the tasks that they were ordered to do in Koh Nhek? Response: they were asked to engage in farming and rice farming. Question: at that time, what was the living condition? Were they eating privately or communally? Response: starting from 71 to 75, people ate separately, but from 76 to 77 and so on, people ate communally. Question: in general, how many people ate communally? Response: they were put into groups. Sometimes it was a group of 20 or a group of 30. Question: at that time, was there any establishment of a mutual assistance group? Response: before 1975, there were kinds of consolidarity groups to assist one another. Question regarding the establishment of the consolidarity group or the cooperative. Who was the person that ordered the establishment? Response: I only knew they came from the sector because the order came from the sector to the district that the consolidated group or cooperative shall be established. Thank you. Now I move on to another topic regarding the forced evacuation. My question to you is the following. On the 17th April 1975, where were you? Response: I was in Pechanda district. Question: were you aware of the Communist Party's plan to evacuate people from the city or the provincial towns? Response: No, I was not aware of it. Question: Regarding the people who were evacuated from Phnom Penh or other provincial towns, were any of them sent to the location where you were living at the time? Response: No. Question: Did you ever hear the word that they use? For instance, new people? Response: No, I did not. I'd like to ask you regarding the administrative structure and the communication structure at the national level. You already told the chamber yesterday that you was the secretary of the Pachanda district from 1971 to 1978. The question is the following: what did observed after the 17th April 1975 regarding your responsibility as the district secretary? Was there any significant change to your role? Response: There was no change. Question. Now I'd like to ask you regarding the reporting regime. Before that, I'll ask you another question. During the decade period, that is when you were a member of the CPK member and also a Pachanda district secretary, did you ever know about the party statute? Response: Yes, I heard about the party statute as it was read out during the meeting. Question: Can you recall the main content of the party statute?
Response: I cannot recall it. Question: Can you tell the court, when you were the secretary of Pachanda district, you had to report to Secretary of Sector 105 concerning the overall welfare and work at your district, and how did you report it? Response: I only reported to the sector, and the substance of my report was on the progress made at the rice farming and rice production. Question: How often did you report to the sector? Response: I did not do it often. Normally it was once a week, and sometimes it varied as well based on the actual circumstance.
ទីទូរលេខ
Question. Did you have the telegram office attached to the district office?
បាទអត់មាន
Response. No, we did not have one.
តកតងអំ
Question. Concerning your authority in your capacity as the secretary of the district. In your capacity as the secretary of the district, were you empowered with the authority to order the arrest of someone?
បាទអត់មាន
Respond. No, I was not. Ever since I was appointed as the secretary of Pichanda district, never had I ordered an arrest of anyone. Question. How about secretary of sector 105? Did he have the authority to order the arrest of someone within his locality, or he had to receive order from his superior before an arrest was carried out?
បាទខ្ញុំអត់
Response. That I did not know. I only knew the task within the framework of the district I administered.
ក្នុងអំឡុងពេល
Question. When you were the secretary of Pichanda district and you were also a member of the sector in charge of health affair, did you ever participate in the sector's meeting?
បាទ
Response. Yes, I did. On the behalf of the sector invitation, whenever they called me to a meeting, then I would attend.
តើលោកដឹងទេថាគណៈតំបន់
Question. Did you know if the sector committee met frequently?
អត់ទេចូល
Response. They did not meet frequently. They normally met once a month or they met bi-monthly.
លោកចាំទេថាទីកន្លែងប្រជុំនោះ
Question. Do you recall the meeting venue? Where was it held?
បាទប្រជុំនៅកន្លែង
Response. The meeting was held at the sector's office.
នៅក្នុងការប្រជុំនឹងតើ
Question. During each meeting, do you remember how many people would attend meeting each time?
បាទមានច្រើនអ្នក
Response. There were many participants from all the districts.
ក្នុងការប្រជុំ
Question. In the sector meeting, what were the usual agenda on the meeting?
បាទ
Response. First item on the agenda was the management of the people. The second item was on the welfare of the people and livelihood of the people. And we discussed ways in order to lift up poverty of the people.
លេខាស្រុកផ្សេងទៀត
Question. How about secretaries of other districts who attended the meeting, the sector's meeting? Did they individually report their overall situation of their respective district in that meeting?
បាទ
Response. Yes, they did. They normally reported about the cultivation, the situation of the livelihoods of people, and the shelter issue for the people.
តកតងទៅនឹង
Question. Concerning the meeting, did you happen to know who kept the record of the meeting?
បាទ
Response. I did not know. I did not know who was assigned to take minutes or keep a records.
ចុះក្នុងនាមលោកដែលជាលេខាស្រុកពេជ្រដា
Question. In your capacity as the Secretary of Pichina District, did you chair the district committee meeting?
បាទ
Response. Yes, I did. Once there was guidance or instruction from the sector, then we would convene the meeting at the district committee, and the task was on organizing people in order to cultivate rice.
នឹងតើធ្វើ
Question. How often were such meetings held?
អត់ទេ
Response. It was not held frequently. Normally it was once a month or bi-monthly.
តើនរណាខ្លះបានចូលរួមប្រជុំក្នុង
Question. Who normally attended the district committee with which you chaired?
បាទទី1គឺ
Response. Normally there were members of the district committees and the secretary of communes within the district.
ចុះអនុលេខា
Question. How about the deputy secretary of the district? Did he attend the meeting?
បាទ
Response. Yes, he did. He attended the meeting.
អនុលេខាស្រុករបស់លោកធ្វើអ្វីដែរ
Who was the deputy secretary?
ឈ្មោះតាផាក់
Response. Ta Pak. He is deceased.
តើគាត់មានឈ្មោះពេញ
Question. What was his full name?
អត់មានតែឈ្មោះមួយ
Response. No, he did not have a full name. We knew him as Tapak.
ចុះក្នុងទូនីតិលោកដែលជាលេខាស្រុកហ្នឹងតើលោកក៏បានទទួល
Question.
បាយការណ៍គុំនានាមក
As the secretary of the district, have you received reports from the commune committee?
បាទបានទទួល
Respond. Yes, I received reports regularly. They had to submit report on a monthly basis.
តើពួកគេបានរាយការណ៍ពីបញ្ហាអ្វីខ្លះទៅ
Question. What was the usual content of the report?
បាទគេរាយការណ៍ទី1
Response. They reported on the rice production and livestock raising, as well as the management of their locality?
ជាទូទៅការងាររបស់លោកតើលោកធ្វើការក្នុងមួយអាទិត្យប្រមាណថ្ងៃដែរ
Question: How many days a week did you work?
វាអត់ទៀងទាត់ទេ
Response: It was not regular. Sometimes we worked 1 day a week or 2 days a week. It was not regular.
ឥឡូវខ្ញុំនឹងសួរ
Question. Now I move on to the next part of this question concerning the sector structure. Can you tell the court what office K20 K11 correction interpreter? Response: K11 was not much known to me. People knew it as K11, and I knew nothing else about this office. Question: What was K11 for?
បាទខ្ញុំដឹង
Response: I did not know what this office was for, and people call it K11.
ជឿលោកដឹងថាមន្ទីរក11ហ្នឹងនៅកន្លែងណាដែរទេ
Question: Do you know where office K11 located?
នៅជិតមន្ទីរតំបន់ហ្នឹងក្នុងភ្នំ
Response: It was located close to the sector's office somewhere near Phnom Kraul Mountain.
តែមន្ទីរក11ហ្នឹងនៅឆ្ងាយពីមន្ទីរក17ដែរទេ
Question: Was office K11 far from office K17?
អត់ឆ្ងាយ
Response: It was not far from each other. It was about 100 meters away.
តើលោកដឹងទេថាអ្នកណាជាអ្នក
Question: Do you know who was in charge of office K11?
បាទ
Response: Sophia.
ក្រៅពីការទទួលខុសត្រូវនៅ
Question:
ក11ហ្នឹងតើសុភានឹងគាត់មានតួនាទីធ្វើអ្វីខ្លះទៀតដែរទេ
Besides being the person responsible for office K11, what else did Sophia do?
បាទក៏ទទួលតួនាទី
Response: He was also in charge of the sector military committee.
ចុះលោកដឹងទេថា
Question:
ក្នុងមន្ទីរក11ហ្នឹងមានអ្នកធ្វើការប្រមាណណា
Do you know how many people worked in office K11?
អត់ដឹងទេ
Response: That I do not know.
ចំណុចមួយទៀតថាតើនៅតំបន់105
Question:
មានមន្ទីរពាណិជ្ជកម្មដែរទេ
At sector 105, was there a commerce office?
បាទមាន
Response: Yes, there was. There was a commerce office.
តើលោកស្គាល់
Question: Do you know the code number for this commerce office?
បាទអត់ស្គាល់ទេ
Response: I did not know.
ជឿលោកស្គាល់
Question: Do you know Office K16 and what was this office for?
បាទ
Response: Yes, I do. I knew this office, Office K16. It was the office dedicated to economic affairs of the sector.
នឹងមានទីតាំងនៅកន្លែងណាដែរ
Where was Office K16 located?
បាទជិតនៅ
Response: It was close to the sector's office.
ជឿលោកដឹងទេថា
Question: Do you know who was in charge of Office K16 during the Democratic Cambodia?
បាទខ្ញុំអត់ស្គាល់ទេ
Response: That I do not know. I only knew the affairs within the framework of my district.
ជឿតាក់ទងទៅនឹងស្រុកនីមួយៗនៅក្នុងតំបន់105តើនៅ
Question: How about the districts subordinated to Sector 105? Did each district have a correction center attached to it?
អត់មានទេ
Response: No, they did not have.
ជឿនៅតំបន់វិញ
Question: How about at the sector level? Was there a correction center or education center attached to it?
តំបន់មាន
Response: Yes, there was a correction center or security center attached to the sector. Question: What was that security office called?
នឹងគេហៅអី
Response: That I do not know. People call it correction center.
លោកស្គាល់ថាមានលេខកូដអីដែរទេ
Question: Do you remember its code number?
អត់អត់ស្គាល់
Response: No, I don't.
ជឿលោកដឹងទេថាមន្ទីរអប់រំកែប្រែរបស់តំបន់ហ្នឹងមានទីតាំងនៅកន្លែងណាដែរ
Question: Do you know where this re-education center located?
បាទនៅទីតាំង
Response: It was also located close to the district office or to the sector's office near Phnom Kraul.
តើនរណាជាអ្នកទទួលខុសត្រូវនៅ
Who was in charge of that re-education center?
ខ្ញុំអត់យល់ទេក្នុង
Response: I do not know because it was the affairs of the sector level.
ហើយជាបន្តទៀតខ្ញុំនឹង
Thank you. Now I move on to the political education training. Can you tell the court during the period of the democratic Cambodia from the 17th of April 1975 to the 6th of January 1979. The political training, including the training on party lines as well as the party policy, what were the main substance of these political trainings?
បាទតាមខ្ញុំយល់
Response. To my understanding, the political line of the party was to reunite the people, safeguard the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the nation. Question. During the period when you were the secretary of this Pichana district, were you ever called to attend political trainings in Phnom Penh?
បាទអត់
Response. No, I was never called to Phnom Penh. I attended training in the sector level. With permission from the President, I would like to display the record of interview by the Office of Co-Investigating Judge, document E3/367 or D125/167. ERN in Khmer 00251437-38. English ERN 00278694. ERN in French 00486010. The President, you may proceed. And this document can be now displayed on the computer screens.
បាទអរគុណលោកប្រធាននៅក្នុងកំណត់ហេតុ
In this particular record of interview, you said that from 1975 through 1978, you said you attended training twice, once in Boracay, and the other time was in a location in between Boracay and Russian Confederation Boulevard. Do you recall attending those training sessions?
បាទបាន
Response. Yes, I do. I did attend those two meetings. Question. Can you recall who conducted the political training session back then?
អត់ទេខ្ញុំអត់
Response. I cannot recall, but I noted that Pol Pot was one of the presenters. Question. Next, I would like to seek leave from the chamber to project this same document again so that I can put the question, and it is the same document with the same identity. The President, you may proceed. And if you have a question on the same document that is being displayed, then you can simply put the question. You do not have to seek permission again.
បាទសូមអរគុណលោកប្រធាន
Thank you, Mr. President, says prosecutor. In your testimony before the Office of Co-Investigating Judges, you also said that in the course of the two training sessions, you mentioned that Nguyen Chia was the presenter on economic matters and economic concepts. Do you recall that?
បាទគាត់
Response: Yes, that is correct. He did present about economic matters.
ចុះលោកនៅចាំទេថា
Question: Do you remember the substance of his presentation on economic matters? What was it all about?
បាទទាក់ទងពី
Response: It was all about leading and encouraging people to do farming in order to avoid starvation or famine.
នៅក្នុងវគ្គនោះតើ
Questions: In the two training sessions, were there any other party leaders conducted the course?
អត់ដែលឃើញទេ
Response: I didn't see any other.
ខ្ញុំសូមជម្រាបជូនលោកដែរថាលោកបានឆ្លើយ
In your statement before the OCIJ, in that same document, that is E3/367, you stated that those who participate in the opening and closing sessions, including Pol Pot, Khieu Samphan, Ieng Sari, and Ieng Theret, do you stand by your statement? Response: Yes, I did see them when their names were read out by the organizer. Question: Were there any other leaders who made the presentation in those meetings besides Nguyen Chia? Response: I only saw one person, and it was Nguyen Chia. Question: Do you confirm that there were two sessions of the meeting? How many days did it last for one session? Response: For each session, it lasted between 12 and 13 days. Question: In that meeting session, were you given any document? Response: No. Now I will ask you regarding the self-criticism meeting. The question is the following: Were there any self-criticism meetings in Sector 105 during the DK regime? Response: Yes, there were. Question. Were these types of meetings held frequently? Response. No. Sometimes it was held every 6 months. We try to make ourselves better in leading the people. Question. Can you recall during the self-criticism meeting who were participating in the meeting? Response. At the district level, there will be the district secretary and the sub-district secretary. Question. What about within the sector level when there were such self-criticism meetings? Who would lead the meetings? Response. The self-criticism meetings or sessions were held in groups. Question. Can you recall how many people in each group? Response. It was based on the practical situation. Sometimes there were 8, 9 or 10 people in each group. Question. What about in Pechenda district, which was your district? Who participated in the self-criticism meetings held in your district? Response. There were district secretary and the sub-district secretary. Question. Can you tell us what was the purpose of the self-criticism meeting? Response. The purpose was for the cadre to be good, to be loyal to the people, and not to have any impact on the interest of the people. Question. In those meetings, were there people who confessed of their wrongdoing? Response. If someone made a mistake or a wrongdoing, that person would self-criticize, otherwise they would not do so. Questions regarding those who self-criticize and confess to their wrongdoing. What happened to them? Were they taken to be re-education, to be tempered, or to be disciplined? Response. No. They would be criticized in that meeting, and that was it. There was no discipline or that sort of thing. Thank you. Mr. President, I now conclude my questioning of this witness, and I'd like to thank Mr. Witness for his detailed response so that the Chamber will be able to ascertain the truth. I would seek your leave for my colleague to continue questioning this witness. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. The International Prosecutor, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the bench, and good morning, Mr. Witness. My name is Dale Lysak. I'm one of the prosecutors at the court, and I will be asking you some more questions today. I'd like to start by asking you a few questions about the interviews that you gave with the Office of Co-Investigating Judges that my colleague has pointed out to you on a few occasions. Do you recall giving those 4 interviews to court representatives in 2008 and 2009?
Response. No, I cannot recall, as I already made my statements to the investigating judges.
Yes, I was referring to your statements to the investigating judges. Do you recall doing that on 4 occasions?
Response. Yes, I did. I reported to the judges already. And the statement I made was based on my knowledge and understanding, and I was frank in making that statement.
And were you truthful when you made those statements to the investigating judges?
Response. Yes. It was truthful. I reported everything from the bottom of my heart to the judges. I reported to him whatever I knew. What I knew, what I saw, what I did, I reported to the judges.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. And after each of your interviews with the investigating judges, did you review the written record, or was your statement read to you? And did you confirm its accuracy by putting your thumbprint on the document?
Response. Yes. As I could not read due to my poor eyesight, then it was read out to me.
Now, thank you. Were your statements also read to you recently by the witness unit after you were brought here to testify?
Response. Yes, they were read out to me.
And when they read those statements to you, did you hear anything that you believed was wrong that needed to be corrected? Or did the statements sound correct to you?
Response. I did not request for any changes to the statement because the statement was precise and clear when I made it to the judges.
Thank you very much, Mr. Witness. I wanted just to clarify one thing that came up this morning about the K-16 office. Was the K-16 office, which you described as the Office for Economic Affairs of the sector, was that the same as the Sector Commerce Office?
Yes, it was the economic office for the entire Sector 105.
Let me ask you again, just so we're clear on that. My colleague first asked you about a Sector Commerce office, and I wanted to make sure that the Sector Commerce office was the same as the K-16 office. Is that correct?
Response. The Sector Commerce Office is indeed the K-16 office.
And you said that the K-16 office was close to the sector office. How close?
Response. It was about 100 meters away.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Let me turn to another subject now. During the time that you were a member of the party, were you aware of a party publication called Revolutionary Flag?
Response. I cannot recall that.
Do you remember a party document called the Red Flag?
Response. No, I cannot recall it.
Mr. President, I'd like now to ask the witness about document E3/1204. That's E3/1204. And if we could also put that document on the screen. It is a 27 August 1977 telegram.
President, yes, you may proceed to do so.
Mr. Witness, I understand you cannot see or read the document, so I'm going to read to you the part of this document that I want to ask you about. And it is, as I said, it was a 27 August 1977 telegram sent from the Sector 105 Secretary Lang under the name Chan to Office 870. And the first part of his telegram states as follows, quote, "The magazines of Party and Revolutionary Flag, which were published from 1975 to 1976 were collected and properly arranged for reading. Does this refresh your memory that documents called Revolutionary Flag were provided to Sector 105 and made available for party members to read?
Response: No, I cannot recall it.
And during the times that you would go to the sector office, did you ever see any reading material that was available there for party members to review?
No, I did not see any.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Let me move on to another line of questioning. Were you present at a large meeting that was held in Phnom Penh in May of 1975, approximately 1 month after 17 April 1975?
Response: After the liberation in Phnom Penh in 1975, I came to attend the meeting.
Where in Phnom Penh did this meeting take place?
Response: I did not know the location as that was the first time I came to Phnom Penh after the liberation of Phnom Penh.
If I may, Mr. President, I'd like to read and show an excerpt from the same interview that we've been using before, which is E3/367, and ask the witness about that. And the specific reference page is Khmer ERN 00251-437, English ERN 00278-694, and French ERN 00486-010.
The President, yes, you may proceed.
Mr. Witness, in your first interview with the co-investigating judges, you said the following about that meeting. Quote, about 410 days after the 17th of April 1975, I went to attend the meeting at the Cambodian Soviet Friendship School for 3 days. Do you confirm the accuracy of that statement?
Response: Yes, that is correct. The meeting lasted for 3 days.
And when you said
Defense Counsel, you may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a few comments to make as to the way that this witness is being questioned by the international co-prosecutor. What I assume the international co-prosecutor is going to do is to read out this earlier statement and ask the witness to confirm it. I think that the better way to go about this is to first ask the witness what he actually remembers, and then, if he does not remember, to read out this statement to see if it refreshes the memory. I think the national co-prosecutor set a very good example of doing exactly that. I think that's the way to go about it. If we just have the witness confirm his earlier statement, I think it doesn't serve a purpose in the quest for the search of the truth.
The international prosecutor, you may respond.
Yes, Mr. President, just briefly, that's exactly what I just did. I asked the witness where the meeting took place. He said he didn't remember, and then I read him a passage to refresh his recollection. So I'm really not sure what the reason for that objection is, but that is the basis on which we have been proceeding and how we will continue to proceed.
The international prosecutor, actually the defense counsel did not object to your line of questioning. He just made some observations regarding the way you questioned the accused. And of course, all parties have been reminded by the chamber to try to be precise in questioning the witness and not to waste any time. You may proceed.
Thank you, Mr. President. Let me ask you a few questions to try to ascertain when this meeting took place. You said that you, after the liberation on 17th April 1975, that you came to this meeting. Can you tell us how you traveled from Mondulkiri to Phnom Penh to come to this meeting?
Response. From Mondulkiri, I travel by a vehicle to Crochet and then continue on to Phnom Penh.
Do you remember approximately how long it took you to travel by car from Mondulkiri to Phnom Penh?
Response. From Mondulkiri to Phnom Penh, it took me quite several days. The road condition was bad, but it was better from Crochet to Phnom Penh.
Do you remember when you left Mondulkiri in relation to the 17th of April 1975? How long after liberation was it that you left Mondulkiri to come to Phnom Penh?
Response. I cannot recall the exact days, but it was not long after the liberation in Phnom Penh. We were told by the sector that we were required to attend the meeting in Phnom Penh.
Who was it that told you that you were required to attend this meeting?
Response. It was the sector level.
Are you referring to Talang?
Yes, he was the one who told us to attend the meeting. He left earlier and then we left after.
Okay. That leads to my next question, which is who else from Sector 105 traveled with you to Phnom Penh for this meeting?
Response. There were 3, myself, Lo, and another person whose name I cannot recall. It's been a long time.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Can you tell us who Lork was?
I did not know his position because I was at the district and we were all called to go to the meeting in Phnom Penh.
Do you remember whether Lork was a relative of Talang?
Response. No, he was not. Though he lived in the village nearby the village of Talang.
I will get back to the meeting in Phnom Penh shortly, but while we're talking about your trip, on your way to Phnom Penh, traveling from Mondulkiri, did you see any groups of evacuees who were traveling across the country, or had the evacuation that started on the 17th of April 1975 already been completed by the time you drove from Mondulkiri to Phnom Penh?
Response. No, I did not see it because I actually traveled by river to Krache. Thank you, Mr. Witness. Thank you, the prosecutor. The time is now appropriate for a 20-minute break. We shall take a break for 20 minutes and return at 10 to 11. Court officer, could you assist the witness and the duty counsel during the break? And have them back in the courtroom at 10 to 11.
សូមអញ្ជើញក្រោកឈរ